the news is so devastating. But what needs to happen now, National Chief?
Well, Evan, it's, there's 130 schools, residential schools that operated in Canada at any one time. And so this 215 bodies were found at Kamloops. But the research and the investigation has to begin at all those 130 plus sites. That's what's got to happen now. And the leadership and survivors are calling for that. And the sad part is the survivors of the residential schools have been saying this for years. They knew about the deaths. They knew about these things, these burial grounds, but nobody would believe them. But now you have the horrifying evidence, the tragic, painful evidence of genocide against our people. And so now there's a big push to get the proper research and using sonar technology done to find these other sites. It's not just in one school, it's right across Canada. And that's the work that has to begin now. And that's our push to the federal government to get this work started.
Chief Cameron, let me bring you in. The Federation and the Saskatchewan are calling on the federal government to research undocumented graves at the sites of Saskatchewan residential schools. First of all, tell us what you want and tell us how the federal government has responded, Chief.
Well, we had some really good communication and response since issuing in the release. Talked to our premier here a couple of times. The support is there, but now the action in terms of funding these radar ground searches to begin. We have approximately 20 residential school sites here in Saskatchewan. And just a quick fact, the last standing school was here in our region, the Muskowhegan Residential School, and it's still standing. It closed in 1997. So tomorrow we gather there to pray and to acknowledge all those who have went missing.
Chief, let me stay with you, Chief Cameron. I want to pause on our program for a minute because what you said is not as well known as it should be. The residential school was functioning, I think, till 1996, 1997 in Saskatchewan. This was still going on. How disgraceful is that? Chief Cameron, how many people, many young Indigenous kids who were torn from their families and sent to these schools, they would say they disappeared or they ran away. Could they all be somewhere else? Could that have just been a euphemism for how they disappeared somewhere else, buried undocumented?
I will say this. There were acts of first-degree murder committed on our children, without a doubt. And there has to be, and there must be, and there will be some accountability, without a doubt. Whether some ran away and well, we're talking about the accountability and the fact that first-degree murder was committed on those children. That's what happened. The families expect answers. The family expect closure, and lastly, the families and survivors expect some sort of healing journey out of this.
National Chief, I want you to weigh in on a number of things. I want to point out, there's an act of criminality. There's got to be a criminal investigation. It's going to involve the RCMP. There's a lot of issues here. But I want to point out something. When Chief Cameron points out in 1997 that school closed, we should note that the Canadian government right now, and I'm going to ask Mark Miller, the Minister of Indigenous Services, about this in a minute, is in court fighting the 2016 Canadian Human Rights Tribunal decision that says there is systemic discrimination for Indigenous children by underfunding the welfare system. It has ordered compensation of $40,000 to be paid to every First Nation child on reserve and in the Yukon who was taken into the so-called care of the welfare system since 2006. The federal government is fighting that in court. National Chief, on a day like today, what does that tell you?
Well, I'd urge them to stop their judicial review against something that's very important, and instead of fighting us in court and fighting children in court, they should look towards the implementation of the CHRT ruling. That's where the energy and effort should go. It doesn't fit to talk about reconciliation on one hand and then deal with the tragedy of 215 children found at a residential school and then fight us in court, for the racism and discrimination that was proven already through the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal decision. And it took over 10 years to get to that decision. And so for the federal government to do a judicial review on a particular case, it's not acceptable. It's not consistent with reconciliation, embracing that going forward. And I'd urge the government to look towards implementation instead of a judicial litigious fight against that ruling. That would be the message to the federal government.
National Chief, quickly, let me just stay with you. Any comment on what Chief Cameron just said, first-degree murder and the criminality associated with this? Because there's people calling on the Catholic Church to release all the records. There's maybe the RCMP involvement. Any comment on those?
You have to do the proper research and the proper investigation. It's the RCMP, the coroner, everybody should be brought to task, because I've said before that this is a genocide. The residential schools was a genocide against First Nations people in Canada, and that's what it is. Here's the evidence again. 215 bodies of children found. It's a genocide. And so the proper research and investigation, of course, has to get done. And we have to get that done, and if there are appropriate charges to be laid, then yes, again, do the proper research, the investigation, and we have to find a way through this as Canada, as a country. This is one of the darkest chapters in Canada's history, was the implementation of the residential schools. Truth has to be told, and we have to find a way to provide hope for the future so that our children and grandchildren can never see this day again. We have to have hope and light for the future. And we can do that by working together, but acknowledging the past. We have a shared history from the past, but more important, we have a shared future together.
Chief Cameron, last word to you. I think a lot of people are going to be cynical that there's going to be a lot of words, and then all of a sudden the media will move on and Indigenous communities will be left again to try to fight for this. What practically, Chief, needs to happen right now so something real happens?
Well, initially we have been in contact. We're working with 3 radar ground search companies, and we're getting close to finalizing those details. The budget will be coming forward, and it'll be sent off to Mark Miller and whoever else will participate in funding this initiative. That's the first part. Second part, the protocols, the ceremonies, and everything else has to continue. You know, I'll tell you this: the end line, the end goal, the ultimate goal here is finding closure and finding that positive healing journey for all of those survivors and families.
Yeah, well said. Chief Cameron, National Chief Bellegarde.